With every new game of Pokemon that is released, there is of course a bunch of brand new features that we get to discover. However, with new games, there are of course also features that were scrapped and never made it to the final games. This may be because they just didn't have enough time to implement these new features, or they just weren't that good at the end of the day. With that being said, today's video is part 1 of a series where we go to every single Pokemon game and take a look at 10 rejected features that never made the cut. Today's video goes over 10 rejected features in Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow. Don't hesitate to drop a comment down below about the video and if you found it interesting or not. Don't forget to leave a like on this video too to show your support, and I'll be sure to bring out a new video very shortly. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date, and follow my Twitter to hear updates about the channel. Both of those links can be found in the description down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you guys enjoy. Starting things off and claiming the number 10 spot in today's top 10 video is the fact that there was an unused type in Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow. As we all know, the flying type was given to most of the bird Pokemon and of course dual type Pokemon such as Charizard and Cypher and Pokemon like that. However, there is also a type known as the bird type that was given to Missingno. Missingno is a dual type normal and bird type Pokemon in these games. Of course, Missingno is a huge glitch, everyone knows about that, and this is how we know about the bird type. The bird type can also be found in the Generation 2 games as well, but that's probably because their engine was being an upgraded version of the Generation 1 games. Either way, bird type was an unused type that was seen in Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow and the Generation 2 games. Now this is most likely just like a prototype of flying type, and it was obviously, changed to flying type as the games got released, but of course it was still in the data, which is why we can find it in these games. Coming in at the number 9 spot in today's top 10 video is the fact that all of the Elite 4 members actually have walking sprites. As we all know, when we go into the Elite 4, we walk up to them, we battle them, we beat them, we move on to the next one. However, these walking sprites suggest that maybe it was a complete different idea altogether. Maybe they were all walking around or something, maybe there's a massive room. I really have no idea, but the fact that there were walking sprites meant that, hey, maybe it was completely different at some point in time. There was also colorized versions of Lance's walking sprites, which were used in Pokemon Gold and Silver, but of course, this is about the first generation game, so we won't get onto Lance's walking sprites. But anyway, it's pretty cool to see that the thing that we are most familiar with about like the hardest battles in Pokemon could have been completely different at some point in time. Coming up next, we have the number 8 spot, and that belongs to the deleted HM. So basically, in the list of field moves, there's an unused entry between Flying Surf, which basically points to an empty string in the field move name table. This suggests that there were moves removed before the games were even released. Its position in the list of field moves is between 2 HMs, and as we all know, all the HMs are in order, as you have like HM01, HM02, everything like that. This suggests that it may have once actually been a HM, which is why everyone believes that this was the deleted HM. The text "ground roads up somewhere" is actually located near the string used when using strength. It has been suggested that it was originally intended to be used for a field move, so I'm not sure if this is an early adaptation of the HM strength, and instead of moving boulders you actually rose ground up somewhere, or it was supposed to be some sort of earthquake HM that, I don't know, helped you go through some part of the game. Either way, it's pretty cool to see that the fact that we could have actually had a different HM all along. The next rejected feature in Pokemon Red and Blue is actually an unused song. So Red and Blue both contain a short unused song with no defined pointers. The song appears to be incomplete as it only has 2 channels whose octaves are set to high and 1 channel that becomes out of sync with the rest of the music. So first off, I'm going to show you guys a snippet of the unused song and how it actually sounded, and then after that I'm going to show you a snippet of a fan's creation of this song and how they thought it might have sounded. So first off, here we have the unused song. And here is the fans' adaptation of this song and what they thought it might have sounded like. The next rejected feature in Pokemon Red and Blue is actually a battle with the Sylph Chief. Now, the Sylph Chief actually has no sprite, but it uses a Scientist Trainer class sprite. The Chief has not been found to give any valid victory speeches when you beat him, but despite this, he is still mentioned in-game by Team Rocket Grunt in one of the houses next to their hotel in Celadon City. And that Team Rocket's dialogue is, "Chief, we just shipped 2,000 Pokemon as slot prices." However, it is quite interesting that the Japanese name of the Chief Trainer actually translates to Sylph's Chief. This implies that the player was originally meant to battle Sylph Co's president. Another interesting fact about this is that Sylph's Chief was actually meant to be hidden in the Safari Zone. As we all know, we go to the Safari Zone to get the hidden move Surf, and then that's kind of it. You can catch loads of cool Pokemon, get loads of rare items, that's all good. But maybe there was an actual battle that had to take place in the Safari Zone, which would have been pretty cool. The next rejected Pokemon Red and Blue feature that we will be going over in today's video is actually an unused trade. Now, this unused in-game trade debuted in the Japanese versions of both Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green, and was again left unused in the Pokemon Japanese Blue version. It would have actually allowed the player to trade a Butterfree for a Beedrill. The next rejected feature on this list is actually to do with Pokemon Yellow. As we have already gone over, there was an unused track found in Pokemon Red and Blue that you did hear earlier on in the video. That isn't the only unused track though for these first generation 1 games. Another track was only found in Pokemon Yellow, and of course I will be playing that for you guys in a second. However, I couldn't find a restored version of this on the internet, so you're gonna only be able to hear the actual unused track of Pokemon Yellow. But anyway, here it is. Carrying on with the unused sounds and music in Pokemon Yellow, the next rejected feature actually goes over unused Pikachu Cries. Now, if you aren't aware, Pokemon Yellow allows the player to pick Pikachu as their starter Pokemon and travel across the Kanto region with Pikachu behind the character, so it doesn't actually go in his Pokeball. Whenever you feel like it, you can turn around, click on Pikachu, and it will express its mood at the time. Usually could be very happy, could be very sad, anything like that. Now, there were 42 Cries originally made, and 16 of these were actually unused. So, in a second, I'm going to play a few of these Cries, and I guess it's up to you if you want to, think about what mood that Pikachu could have been in when making this sound effect. Our next rejected feature in Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow is actually to do with your rival. Now, as we all know, if the player loses their first battle with their rival, the rival will say, "Yeah, am I great or what?" before the player blacks out. This also goes for the first Route 22 encounter, and the Cerulean City encounters as well. After that, he actually has no dialogue before the player blacks out. However, there is unused text in the game showcasing the fact that your rival may have actually had a different text for every single loss in every single location. So I'm going to go over a few of these right now to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So on the SS-San, he says the player's name followed by, "What are you, seasick? You should shape up, pal." And in Pokemon Tower, he says, "Wow, look at all your wimpy Pokemon. Toughen them up a bit more." And on the Sylph Co 7th floor, he says, "How can I put this? You're not good enough to play with us big boys." And then for the champion battle, he says, "Ha, I won. I'm too good for you." The player's name, "You did well to even reach me." And then he says his name, and then the Pokemon Genius. And then he says, "Nice try, loser. Ha." So there are a bunch of actually different encounters which are really cool. And, I would have actually liked these to be left into the games because it just adds more of a personality to your rival. Finishing things off though and claiming the #1 spot for the biggest rejected feature in Pokemon Red and Blue, you guys probably know it, it is the Professor Oak battle. Now at the beginning of the player's adventure, Professor Oak introduces you to the world of Pokemon, doesn't know your name, thinks you're a boy or a girl, doesn't know his rival's name, the kind of Professor Oak stuff that we're used to. However, He also has 3 full teams of Pokemon programmed in, each consisting of a level 66 Tauros, a level 67 Executor, a level 68 Arcanine, and also a level 70 Gyarados, and of course the final evolutionary stage of one of the starter Pokemon at level 69, presumably the starter Pokemon that's strong against yours. So if you chose Venusaur, he'd choose Charizard, if you chose Charizard, he'd choose Blastoise, and of course if you chose Blastoise, he'd choose Venusaur. Seeing all of these Pokemon at such a high level, and the fact that these are even higher than the level of Blue, who is the champion, it suggests that he was actually at one point intended to be faced late on in the game as the most powerful trainer in the game, which pretty much would have made the game come full circle. So Professor Oak gives you your Pokemon, and then you also have to have your final battle against him. You can also fight Oak if you actually use Game Shark codes and everything like that to see what it would have been like if it was left in the actual game. But with that, it does wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video though, please do leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, I would also love to hear your guys' opinions too on this subject, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I do have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you do have the time, and also subscribe if you do like my content. That is everything from me though, so thank you so much for watching guys, have an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next video.